33 7th and 8th grade students went from 11 local schools competed in the countrywide writing tournament held on Stone Hall at the Miners Foundry on January 8th. The students were judged on 3 styles of writing: informative writing, creative writing, and persuasive letter writing. For the persuasive letter, students were asked to write a letter to their principal about whether or not parents should bribe their kids for good grades. Tournament coordinator Shannon said she was surprised by the persuasive letter responses. While a few students argued for bribing kids to get good grades, saying it added an extra initiative that helped students motivate to work harder. An overwhelming majority of them wrote that assisted bribing students for good grades. Sorry, that they were against bribing students for good grades. We want to say congratulations to all participants, that a huge thank you to all the teachers and parents for encouraging our young people to write. Here to tell us all about this and her program, her experiences as the coordinator.
I'm Shannon Rashby. Thank you for having me here. I work for the superintendent of schools, and we organize quite a few tournaments in the area for local schools where all of the schools can come together to compete in various areas. So the one that we just had last week was the writing tournament, and it's super fun. 2 kids from each school, 7th and 8th grade, get to come, and they sit in the very fancy Miners Foundry, and they literally write all day. So you can imagine these are very special kids that are willing to do this and just really love writing. So as you said, there's 3 categories. And the first is informative. So this year we had a guest speaker come from Stanford Youth Solutions, and he taught the kids. He's a social worker that works in the foster care system. So he taught the kids all about the foster care system, and they listened to this pretty intelligent presentation for about 30 minutes, and then they were given 10 minutes to ask questions, and then they had 40 minutes to write an essay about the foster care system.
Wow.
So then they take a little break, and they come back and they have to write a letter. So in advance, they've practiced writing a proper formal letter format, which a lot of us don't know how to do anymore. We just get the Google Doc. And so this year they had to write a letter to their principal, either for or against bribing students to get good grades. That's where I was saying, I was so surprised. I thought all the students would want to get money for their grades, but most of them, or many of them, argued against that and thought that it's not good for developing internal motivation, and maybe it puts too much pressure on the kids. So it's always interesting to hear what they have to say.
Now, I wanted to ask you a question about that. Because they're so against bribery, they were more excited about their own scores, their own progress. It sounds like
they were concerned about developing their own internal motivation, and that when they enter life, nobody's going to be offering them bribes to do the right thing, and so that was what a lot of them had to say. So it was interesting.
Great.
Anyway, after that, they take another little break and come back for the creative writing, which is, I think, most students' favorite part. It's my favorite part, where they're given a prompt and they get to write a story. So this year, the prompt was, wait, say that again?
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so they get to start with a little dialogue, and those went all different directions. We had some fantasy, we had some realistic fiction, we had some people saving the world, or just having a regular school day.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's very fun.
How long does that last for them, this competition?
It's just one day.
Oh,
so
wow.
They're there all day. They get a free lunch afterwards while the judges finish judging, and then in the afternoon the parents can come back and we do a little award ceremony, and they get ribbons and trophies. And
how many kids total around the community competed in this?
This year we had 33. So 33 kids from 11 different schools, all the middle schools. And everyone in the county all the middle schools in the county are invited to participate.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, and so many of the kids, their schools have had a competition first before they even got there. Every school has their own system for choosing, but so.
And you had an award winner from each category.
Yeah, we did a top 5 for each category, and then there's one overall winner that is like their points combined. So there's one overall 7th grade winner and one overall 8th grade winner.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
That sometimes kids don't know that they're good writers, and it takes an event like this to kind of change the way that they see themselves. I personally had an experience with this where I had sent off a piece of writing to a scholastic writing competition when I was about this age, and I placed in it. And before that, I had no idea that I was a good writer, and it, like I said, completely changed the way I thought about myself and built this little flower of confidence where there hadn't been one. And to this day, it's the way I see myself. I believe that I'm a good writer. And it all started with that one competition.
That's great.
So that my hope is that not just the kids who placed, the winners, but everybody that came to this competition, because it is such a big deal, that they walk away with that little new piece of confidence too, knowing that they're good writers as well.
I am sure they will.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. And is this every year?
It's every year.
Every year?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next students can do it again.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. All right, don't go away. We will be right back with a very special guest. We don't know much about this next guest. She is an 8th grader at Seven Hills School, and apparently she has a knack for writing. She walked away as one of the overall winners for the highest collective score from the 3 written assignments. Please help me welcome 8th grader Amy. Hello, Amy. Thank you for coming.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was very surprising when they announced my name as overall winner. I was very honored to be chosen as the winner.
Now, I have a question for you. As our last guest said, that she didn't know she was a great writer until she entered the writing competition and won. Was that your same story?
Yes.
Yeah?
I believe I am a little bit better of a writer now that I had done that. I didn't think I was a great writer before, but now that I have people that are telling me I was a good writer, now I believe it a little bit more.
That's great. And you've been writing your whole life, or is this something new for you?
I've been writing since about 6th grade.
6th grade?
Yes. So only for 2 years.
For 2 years. Well, that's a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. How did it feel winning 3 categories?
It felt really good. Like my hard work had paid off.
Mm-hmm. How hard did you work to get into this competition?
I worked with my team as well, and I think that by reading theirs and by reading mine that I improved a lot, and then I worked pretty hard, I would say.
Good. Now, I heard you have a special treat that you brought with yourself for us.
Yes.
Yeah? Would you mind sharing that special thing that you brought with
Sure.
with you? Okay.
It's just the first paragraph from my information writing. It's about the foster care system. Stigma is a word that surrounds how most view the foster care system. Most stray away from conversation about it, and many children and parents are labeled as bad if they are in the foster care system. Most people also believe the goal or intention of the system and its social workers is to take children away from their families. However, what the general population believes is certainly untrue. There are many systems and people in place to help children and parents not be taken away, such as kinship and relation, community, and adoption and guardianship.
That was great.
Thank you.
Anything else you wanted to share about writing with some children that might be watching and thinking about doing what you did?
I would say if you really wanted to get into writing, then you should read a lot.
Yeah.
Because that is what helped me, because reading all of the great works, not just like classics, but reading a lot of good books inspired me to want to write that stuff.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for being an excellent writer, and I hope you keep writing.
Thank you.
All right.